Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shang-Chi Bricks. I'm Alex, and I am a huge fan of Pixar. It's arguably my favorite franchise of all time. So let's rank all six Pixar franchise things. So these are movies that have more than one, like all six Pixar series kind of things. So these are the movies that have more than one movie in them. If you want to go see my Toy Story ranking, that's on the channel. Eventually, I don't know if it's on yet, depending on when you're watching this, but I have a Toy Story villains ranked short. I have a Toy Story opening scenes ranked shorts. I love Pixar, so a lot of this kind of stuff it happens a lot because I really enjoy Pixar. I have a couple other Toy Story videos planned because of the release of Toy Story 5, so we will see when those come about, but hopefully those will happen. So there are only six franchises, but I will try to go through these very quickly. Now, in 2029, a new franchise will be added. That will be Coco, because Coco is going to be getting a sequel in 2029, which is definitely exciting. And then the other two sequels that are happening, that will just add on to these franchises right now, is Monsters Inc. is getting a third movie, and then Incredibles is getting a third movie as well. So those will definitely shift the rankings. But yeah, so there's six. The six franchises in no particular order are Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Incredibles, Cars, Finding Nemo, Inside Out. So yeah, let's jump into what my rankings are for those. So yeah, let's go do it. So in last place, sixth place, I am going to put the Finding Nemo franchise, which I know is definitely a bit of a hot take, but simply the Finding Nemo franchise is just not one that particularly stuck to me as a child. I think that the first movie is very beautiful. It's just I never really watched it that much when I was younger. Where compared to every other movie in compared to every other franchise, there's at least one movie in the franchise that I would watch over and over and over again when I was younger. And neither Finding Nemo or Finding Dory, that really happened to me. Now, I didn't particularly love Finding Dory, and I think Finding Nemo is a very great movie, but neither of them are even in my top 10 for Pixar, where I think the top four franchises for me all have at least one movie in there. The fifth one doesn't, but I'll explain why. That's still ahead of the Finding Nemo franchise. I do think that this maybe should have just been one movie. I don't know if we needed Finding Dory. I do have memories of seeing Finding Dory in theater when I was quite young, but I don't know. It's just not a franchise that I love as much as other people, so that's why it's in last place. In fifth place is the Cars franchise, a lot of people's personal favorites. Simply, the first movie I just watched a lot more than the first Finding Nemo. I think that the first Finding Nemo is better than Cars, but considering Cars has three movies, I don't know. I just connected to the characters in Cars a lot more. I had lots of Lightning McQueen toys. I collected a lot of the different cars, particularly I like the Radiator Springs residents, so I got a lot of Luigi's and Guidos and those guys. So I do have definitely a lot of memories of like going to Disney and going to Cars Land. Like that was a lot of fun for me. That was like an amazing experience to like really go into Radiator Springs. So I just have a close connection to the characters, even if Cars 2 and 3 aren't great. So that's why Cars is ahead of Finding Nemo in this. Next, in fourth place, is the Incredibles franchise. Now, there is a huge gap between the Cars franchise and the Incredibles franchise. I love the Incredibles movies. I think that they're awesome. I think that they're basically, besides the Spider-Verse movies, the best animated superhero movies. And I just absolutely love them. The first Incredibles movie is my fourth favorite Pixar movie, so I really love it. It's just looking at Incredibles 2, that's only 19th on the list. So I just don't like Incredibles 2 as much. I think part of Incredibles 2 kind of freaked me out when I was younger. Not that much though, because I still think that it is a solid sequel. Just doesn't have as good of a villain as the first one. But I've always loved superheroes, so I think the Incredibles movies are always such a great intro to superheroes. But I think also the reason why they're fourth and not third or second is simply because they only have two movies and one of them is kind of a miss. Now that is going to change because, like I said earlier, in 2028, the Incredibles franchise is going to add one more movie, which is very, very exciting. And I do think we'll be able to jump up in the rankings a lot more if they really are able to nail the third movie. Now in third place is the Inside Out franchise, which I think is arguably the most consistent franchise out of every kind of Pixar franchise. Now, I think what's so great about these movies is that they're just kind of really embodying Pixar of just like great movies that you can just grow up watching. I think the two movies show very different stages of life, and how you get different emotions, and you have to learn to accept different emotions at different times of your life. I think that's just a really special kind of thing that Pixar can do. I think all Pixar movies can do, but I feel like the Inside Out franchise really just nails it. Now, I do think when it comes to sequels, I do like Inside Out 2 a lot. It is 10th, which I think is way higher than a lot of other people, but I really do love Inside Out 2. I recently rewatched it. It's just an amazing, beautiful movie. The attention to detail in both of the movies is so awesome. I love both of the movies very much. I do think when it comes to sequels, though, I think sequels can go very well because when you get older, you get more emotions, and there's just more kind of just emotions to your life. So I do think that definitely for both of those movies, I definitely could see if a third movie was to come out and they just do an amazing job on that. I could see that definitely be moving up on the list. But both of the movies are in the top 10. So for my Pixar. So for the next two franchises, and the majority, well, somewhat of the majority of both of the movies of the franchises are in my top 10. So now the next two are basically some of my favorite movies of all time, the next two franchises. Now, I had a really hard time placing this, so I think I know what my second and my first favorite is. So in second, I'll go with the Monsters Inc. franchise. The first Monsters Inc. movie is one of my favorite movies of all time, and so is Monsters University. When I mentioned before movies that I would watch on repeat over and over and over again, Monsters Inc. and Monsters University were probably the movies I watched on repeat the most. I love them so much. I think they defined my childhood super well. They're super funny. They just are a big part of my childhood. Now, I really, really do love both Monsters Inc. and Monsters University. I think the thing that's just holding it down from first place is the fact that they only have two movies. Both movies are amazing in my opinion, but because of Monsters Inc. 3, I do think that this has the chance to surpass Toy Story 3 if, once again, they really do an amazing job with Monsters Inc. And then, so obviously I just mentioned Toy Story, and my first place spot is the Toy Story franchise. Now, technically, only 3 of the Toy Story movies are in my top 10, but I do love, I think 5 is a very great movie. I'm going to include Lightyear in this just to include it because it is a spin-off. I enjoy Lightyear a lot more than people, and I thought Toy Story 4 was fairly solid as well. I do definitely mention how much I love the Toy Story movies in my Toy Story movies ranked video, so you can go check that out to hear my full thoughts of each individual movie. But I simply just, once again, like Monsters Inc., this is a big part of my childhood. In some ways, it's even like a big part of just why I love Lego in general, which obviously this channel has a large focus on Lego. In fact, I even have Lego Forky and Lego Jessie right here. But I simply just love I just love the franchise so much. I think it just kind of has this kind of fun, kind of imaginative creativity. Just a lot of great stuff in those movies. That just, I think, just once again defined my childhood a lot. Once again, you can hear my full thoughts of this in my Toy Story ranked video, so go check that out. So thank you for watching this video. Let me know what your ranking of the Pixar franchises are. Also, let me know, this may be a short, what franchises you think should get a second movie. Like, would you want like a Ratatouille 2 or an Up 2 or a WALL-E 2 or something wild like that? I don't think Ratatouille 2 is ever happening. The director said that's never happening, but still, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I won't be doing a Pixar full ranking this year, so that's why I only did franchises, but let me know what are your favorite Pixar movies. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe because we are very close to 100 subscribers. We're literally at 99 right now. So subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.